John, I sat with you here a year ago, and it was a first-round defeat to Real Salt Lake that ended the season. This time you get to the conference finals. It's neither case the end of the season you wanted, but how does this year feel different?
I think what was different this year is maybe a bit more disappointment, because I thought we were well positioned last year to make a run in the playoffs, and we're certainly disappointed to go out when we did. This year, though, I felt like things were set up to host a final, to lose a game at home again, was certainly disappointing, and I definitely thought we were better positioned this year. So for it to end how it did, when it did, and has similar tones of a lot to be proud of, but a bad ending to a good year, I would say it's the same. That feeling is similar.
But it was a historically significant season across the board. When you constructed this team for the first time, did you think it was capable of hitting the high notes that it did?
I knew that this club would be successful. I think the question would be when. And I would say that the goals of this club were to set ourselves up. We talked about the trajectory of the club to be sustainably successful. I think we've done that. I think the best measure of sustainable success is a supporter shield. And to go and do that the way we did it, the way we played this year, I think the answer to the question is, am I surprised this club has been successful? No. Am I surprised it has happened so quickly? I would think I've been not shocked, but pleasantly surprised as to how things have come together these first 2 years.
The supporter shield, you've been around this league a long time, and do you see this team changing the perception of that trophy, which historically did not carry the weight of an MLS Cup?
We wanted to give the supporter shield its due credit. It's the achievement of months and years in the making, and the group we have, the environment we have, the organization we have, we feel very good about that foundation, and it was rewarded with the supporter shield. Now, do I wish it was rewarded with an MLS Cup? Of course. And when people say, well, what more is there for this team given that you set a record in the regular season? The obvious answer is we want more trophies. But I do think that when I have conversations with football people, even I was in Seattle for the final, people from the Sounders organization would say, well, you guys did the hard part. The way our playoffs are is sort of like the FA Cup in England, where it's a tremendous achievement, and you have to play really well to deserve that cup at the end of the tournament, which is very different from the league. Now, our objective and absolute aim is to make sure that we are designed and structured in a way to win both.
When you have a club that has set all these historical MLS milestones, how do you prepare an offseason to get a team to be even better?
We'll have a bit of turnover, similar to what we had last year in our job, and we've been working day and night since that final whistle in terms of what are the pieces we need to add, what contingency plans need to be in place, how we can better strengthen our group as we now go into a year where we're adding another competition, which is very important to the club with Champions League coming, and those are our first competitive games. So we have made it absolutely imperative that we keep the core together, which we've managed to do. Now, how do we add to that in ways that either strengthens competition in training or adds a starting piece? Those are all the decisions we're evaluating now.
CONCACAF Champions League, you mentioned it, a chance to do something that no MLS team has done it and win it in its current format. So what are your expectations? How do you approach this as it starts earlier than the MLS season from a soccer ops perspective?
If you go back these previous 2 years, we've managed to start seasons well, so that bodes well as we start even sooner. We're eager to see what the draw comes out with on December 9th, and it's just a really exciting opportunity for us as a club in our third year to have achieved Champions League qualification, which was a big target of ours, and really excited to see what our group can show our whole region now, having done so in MLF.